programme.
First tonight, he was a respected youth worker who'd been honoured by the Queen.
But beyond the public facade of his seaside summer camp, Harry Day was a serial sex offender who abused many of the boys entrusted to his care.
Today, as he was jailed for 13 years after being found guilty of 21 counts of child abuse, one of his victims told Anglia Tonight that he was glad Day couldn't hurt anyone anymore. Well, our correspondent Natalie Gray joins us now from outside Norwich Crown Court. Natalie, a truly shocking case.
Absolutely, and justice has been a long time coming for these victims. They were children when Day preyed on them. They're now in their 30s and 40s. One of them has had 7 years of counselling to try to come to terms with what happened to him at Day's holiday camp at Hemsby in Norfolk. A Day, who's 70 and from North Walsham in Norfolk, preyed on the most vulnerable of children. 2 boys were sent to his holiday camp because their fathers had recently died. The details of this case are too graphic to go into. We've been hearing about 8 victims, but police believe there could be many more. The man regarded as a hero, exposed as a serial abuser who took away the innocence of young boys. On this campsite in Norfolk, Day ran the Young Citizens Guild that he'd started in London in the late 50s. Overgrown and run down, it holds horrible memories for many of the boys he recruited. This is one of them. He can't be identified, but it was he who first contacted the police and began to reveal the shocking list of crimes.
A vile man who ruined my childhood, who abused me from the age of 12 for 2 years. He's ruined most of my life.
What effect has the abuse had on you?
I've had 2 failed marriages, lost 2 businesses, had quite a bad drink problem at one point and a drug problem, so pretty terrible.
Throughout the month-long trial, the jury's been told lurid details of how boys would stay in his caravan. He'd said they were there to protect him. Harry Day would bring youngsters from deprived areas of East London to this summer camp at Hemsby in Norfolk. Many of them were vulnerable, and over the course of 20 years, he would pick out his favourites, bribe them with treats and promotion within his Young Citizens Guild, and then systematically sexually abuse them. Anglia News filmed the organisation many times over the years as they carried out good deeds, including beach cleaning and helping to find lost children.
A large number of parents that they think, and I'm not arguing with them, that they're good parents and they never lose their children, but they don't realise that when they go onto a crowded beach, they've only got to turn their head for a second and the little is off on walkabout.
But behind this respectable, public-spirited facade, Harry Day was involved in horrific assaults on young boys, confident that because of his links with royalty and high-ranking police officers, no one would ever believe any accusations against him.
The Young Citizens Guild, which he set up, is in many ways a laudable organisation and has done a lot of good. But that's a double-edged sword in a way, because it has made it harder for those people whose trust he abused by using them for sexual gratification, the young lads under the age of 16, to come forward and give evidence against him, because frankly they thought at the time that nobody would believe them.
What are your thoughts now he's been found guilty?
Well, I was the one who started all this, so I was the first one to go to the police. Now, you know, what I started has ended up with a monster being put in prison where he belongs, and he can't do anything to anyone else.
Some people in Hemsby say jail is too good for him.
He used to strut about like a peacock and thought he was the man, you know, in his uniform, with his pips on the shoulder, you know, chest stuck out, and the big man, which, to be honest, if he's done that, I think jail is too good for him.
Day received the MBE from the Queen for his work with children. Child protection measures are much tighter now than when he abused the boys.
I'm very proud of the victims that came forward and gave evidence in court. It has been difficult for them, and it's a testament to the fact that we know Harry Day abused people, and we have got the right verdict today.
Once he was a respected pillar of the community. Tonight, as Day starts his prison sentence, people are ashamed to know him.
Well, Natalie, we heard from one of the victims. What did the judge have to say?
Well, in jailing Day to 13 years in jail, the judge, Simon Barham, said these offences constitute the grossest possible breach of trust. You cynically used this organisation as a means of committing sex offences against boys entrusted to your care. Now, we heard there that child protection measures are much tighter now than when Day abused these boys, but could something like this happen again? Well, we put that question to Caroline Ball from the Safeguarding Children Board.
In general, I think there's greater sort of awareness of that this does go on and that it is wrong. Could I possibly say there would never be another incident like this? No, I couldn't. That's why I think it's so important that children are empowered and made to feel that it is right to speak out, even when it takes a lot of courage because the person seems to be a person in authority.
So Harry Day, who was once held in such high regard, is now disgraced. But for his victims' relief that the jury believed their story, not his, by unanimously finding him guilty on all counts.
All right, Natalie, thank you very much.